time series. Okay, it's like testing in schools. You have to have the data to see if you're making improvements. And these long time series require infrastructure. We were able to respond at the University of South Florida so quickly because there has been investment in infrastructure from the city of St. Pete, from the state university system, and from federal agencies. So we have satellite systems and satellite receiving stations in place. Those data allowed our researchers, as soon as it happened, to start tracing where is the oil. Just that fact, and these are the facts that business owners need to know. Is oil going to wash up on my beach? Where is the oil? We were able to do that through satellite imaging. And then, where is the oil going to go? Everybody now knows about the loop current. I don't know how many people worried about the loop current before, but in order to have a three-dimensional analysis of where is the water going, both in a surface sense and a deep three-dimensional sense, that requires wind information, current information, buoys, moorings, high-frequency radar, and you get the data and it goes into modeling, and then you need people. You need smart, high-tech people that are doing the computer modeling. And that was done. Bob Weisberg, I think many of you may have seen him on the television many times. And so he was a part of, he has developed a quantitative model for modeling circulation in the Gulf. And so he was one of a number of people that were generating models to predict where the oil was going to go. In the early days, we were worried that the oil was going to get in the loop current and go all the way and damage the Keys, coral reefs, and go all the way up to North Carolina. We were very lucky this time that didn't happen, because an eddy in the loop current broke off and kept the oil in the northern part of the Gulf. But next time, that might not happen, and it could be oil going all the way up, around into the Gulf Stream, and all the way to North Carolina. So it is short-sighted to think, well, because this time we only have to worry about the 7 counties in Florida, that in the future that's all we have to worry about. We have to worry about the Gulf as a whole. The next issue was, well, not all the oil stayed on the surface. Well, the next issue was how much oil is coming out. And it really was the academic community that pulled together their resources to give unbiased assessments of how much oil was coming out. And so suddenly academic scientists, instead of being in their ivory tower, were putting out their best honest estimate of the amount of oil and taking a lot of heat from industry, who were trying to make it seem like less oil was coming out.
And that matters.
And that matters ultimately because when we get to the penalty phase, the Clean Water Act, it's $1,000 to $4,000 per barrel of oil spilled, and the industry is trying to say it was only 1 million barrels of oil, and the best academic estimates are in the range of 4 to 5 million barrels of oil spilled. So then the next issue is, in previous oil spills, generals are always fighting the last war. Previous oil spills, a single spill on the surface, and this was the first huge deep water spill. And the use of dispersants at the level that they used was unprecedented. And, people trying to solve the problems on the fly, doing the best they can, but unprecedented. And so, again, industry was trying to say the oil, it's in this limited area, we've cleaned it all up, and it's all gone. And it really was University of South Florida scientists, along with others from other states and other institutions, that were on, because we had a ship, we were able to get right out there, because we had investment from the university that helped us get the research going right away, taking water samples and finding these deep plumes of oil at roughly, 2 deep plumes where the water was, oil was accumulating. And again, that was denied initially by NOAA and industry. There's no deep oil, and subsequently validated. So being able to get out there and do sampling. But if you're looking at environmental change, and anyone from any of the environmental groups, you have to have baseline data. And many of those baseline data were sorely lacking. And now the focus is turned to the sediments that's in the mud, and sort of the beaches look clean, but there's still some microscopic bits of oil in the sand. Nothing that is toxic or harmful to humans, but we don't know what impact that will have on turtles when they're nesting this year. There have been increases in mortalities of young dolphins and sea turtles. Again, you have to have data. It could be, there are some people that say it might be related to the cold winters that we've had. Others said this is related to the oil. You know, it's going to take time to work out what are the causes of these higher mortality rates. The bluefin tuna were spawning during the oil spill. When that happens, it's going to take time before we see the impact on the, you have to go through the whole life cycle. It may take 3 or 4 years before we know the impact on the bluefin tuna. There are now reports of some disfigurements of some of the fish in the area of the oil spill. Again, the fish have been tested. They're below detection limits of any compounds or things that would be harmful to humans, so the fish are fine to eat. But there's clearly some impact on the fish